talked and delivered to a client. And this is not something that a lot of gurus show you. A lot of the gurus that I see online teach you how to find a client, and then from then there onwards, they keep things very vague about how to actually provide good service and fulfill a system to the client. So today we are going to be running through how to actually fulfill the client and what I built for my client, which is a weight loss clinic. I cannot name the company, but it is a med spa and weight loss clinic that sells things like B12 vitamin super shots, hormone therapy, injectables, IV therapy. They're really big on injections, so weight loss injections. Let's start with weight loss. So this is, let's say, a medical weight loss clinic, and this video serves as a case study for other businesses in the weight loss niche or selling some type of tangible product. There will be tweaks and customizations that you can do so that you can tailor it towards basically any other business. Okay, the majority of this video, I'll be explaining my whole process of actually how to deliver this client. So we need to understand why I chose the tools that I did before I show you in the under the hood. We'll be going through the intro to some technical skills that I needed to learn to be able to deliver for the client, what we're specifically building, and cut through the noise from all the different automations that don't really have much real life application except videos like from these gurus. Number three, why we're building it. So what the problem of the company did, and then how we built it, which is all the meaty stuff. And I'll actually show you how we build it in my big guide. Let's start with what we're building. So I use three different tools: n8n, high level, and Vapi. So this this is an automation tool. It's a place where we can kind of set up the backend automations. High level is a CRM, as you've probably already heard. We do a lot of the chat logs with the customers, a lot of the workflow automations with the customers. I want to go through all of this. And Vapi as the speech to text model and kind of the orchestrator with talking. So this is kind of what's new. Let's start with n8n. We'll go through how my appointment booking bot works with Vapi so that we can book stuff onto Go High Level, get contacts from Go High Level, update bookings, book appointments, get opportunities. We're going to show you my SMS system, which includes the majority of the double message texting feature, different SMS bots, booking agents, hold responses, and call logs and call triggers. So this is how we actually log the information that we need into Go High Level so that Go High Level becomes the place all the calls go, where the notes go, where the context for the AI goes. For high level, I'll be showing you different tool call triggers, different no-show triggers, different response systems and tagging follow-up systems that we've put in place so that we can actually constantly follow up with clients. A double dialing system that works with n8n and Vapi so that a lead comes in, we call them, they don't pick up, we call them again, or we put them on a timer and then give them a double call. So just to make sure something happens, SMS openers and nurture sequences that may last about a week, and different things that we've done for the client, which is different service reports, different content, different AI booking opportunities, stuff like this. And then Vapi, I'll show you my one shot prompt, show you why I don't think one shot prompting is good because you've got so much text. Workflow prompting, how this could get you to different checkpoints a lot better, and then the different tool calls I needed. So this is all one machine, basically one big machine. Before we get into the video, I want to give a shout out to Scott Henry and Kevin Hogan because they've moved past the noise from the mainstream AI guys and focused on functionality. Plus, must have business skills when added alongside the technical skills that you would learn, let's say, with AI automation or any other service that you're going to provide in the future. They have dropped a lot of value in the videos that has helped me gain insight for free without the need of any paid courses. So his response lead system was, I mean, our response lead system is inspired by his, which includes the follow up replies. This is him actually showcasing how he worked, how he managed each lead through the pipeline, and how he also updated each lead through the pipeline by sending them a call proposed. Let's actually show you here a call proposed, which is same thing that we did, but he actually sends booking link. Ooh. What we do is we do the call and we also nudge them with SMS. What Kevin Hogan taught me was also a lot of go high level stuff. So these are his call plus SMS sequences. So where I learned the double dialing from, where I also where I learned how to log the calls, logging calls into GHL, how I built a follow up system that could handle a lot of the work that happened. And he also taught me a lot of n8n skills. Something like this is how he logs calls into high level. So from Vapi into high level, which is really cool. How he uses notes, using notes, his notes as context for his AI. So, for instance, if you're calling someone, a problem would be like, oh, if the AI didn't know that you called them, they'd be asking some different questions. But if you had a place to log the summary and all the notes, that's where the AI would say, oh, okay, here are the notes of what I talked to this person about. And this is how it's going to change the way I respond. He also definitely, this is very cool. He taught me this. This is the double calling system. And so I I added service reports. So these are marketing content that I can send to the client's customers. More follow-up sequences from Scott Henry, the double dialing feature, because he had a very strong, different type of system. Populating notes and logging calls, and then managing pipeline stages. What I mean here is that we're creating a better tool for humans to be able to use. All right, we are building AI callers and DM appointment setting systems where the AI calls the lead within working hours, and then this is via an opt-in response in the website or via ads. What I've seen my client do is with websites, you have targeted them. These guys are the biggest intent, right? Because they have actually gone to Google or GBT nowadays. They've actually searched up your website and they've actually filled out the form for consultation. So these guys are hot leads. So how do you catch them? very, very fast, right? You call them, text, confirm, scheduling that booking, schedule booking basically right away. How about via ads? Well, let's say your client runs ads, so there's different ad offers, so different funnels for different ads. Because my client did, let's say this is weight loss, this is hair loss, hair removal, sorry. Let's say this is hair removal. And their other offers. So every time they have a set of creatives, right, that they have already done. So these are people that are semi cold, semi interested. So they're more on the warm side, you know. So when they come in and they opt in and you get them as lead, what you also need to do is fire them up with so much more value and actually urge them to book. So that's where we come in. This is this is the SMS appointment side. So the aggressive follow-ups and the constant reminders. Because bottom line, reminders. Bottom line is they're semi warm leads, right? They need to turn to hot leads somehow. So we need to somehow make sure that they get constant reminders from us so that they actually go down and they buy from us and they go further down into the funnel. So they actually turn into somewhat more interested leads. What we have these days is a trust recession. People are scared to put down money online now. So how do we make them do that? We make sure we provide value. We become reliable. All right, let's continue. Handling admin tasks. So another problem that they have is that, all right, so we also need to figure out an offer on how AI can actually handle the admin, sorry, on how AI could actually handle the admin tasks and see how AI can manage people from pipeline to pipeline. We also need them to be able to nudge them into a booking somehow, be able to handle objections, how to actually combat something like this, thinking it's too expensive. So being able to objection handle and then move past that, try to go into something else, and then actually after that we're gonna look at how we can follow up with leads in set times. So let's say a message came in here from our side and then the lead doesn't respond. How are we going to let them know that the lead is actually not responding? And then how can we send them a follow up message that says something like that? All right, let's continue. So something like, hey, I was wondering if you saw my message. Said company has helped transform clients to look their best. Hey, it's person from company knows you were checking out our fat loss programs. So these are all features. How can I learn how to market them? Right? So what I believe in the industry is that are learning AI, people think that learning AI makes it automatically easy for them to sell. But you need to learn sales skills, you need to learn marketing skills. And the same applies to those who just think that knowing sales and marketing skills and sticking the AI tag into every one of their SMMA products is going to help them sell more clients. Because I've seen firsthand a lot of gurus do this, and they make a lot of money trying to deceive you that they're 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 they have something that's special, but they don't. It's their revised SMMA course. So what I mean from that is you gotta learn how to run ads. So I mean, having drop shipping knowledge is good. Having media buying knowledge is good. If you've ever done content creation, that's gonna be good. So honestly, you just gotta be better, right? You have to learn how to build funnels correctly, right? So building funnels. You've got to hop on sales skills. You've got to build a great brand like Alex Ramosi. You've got to do cold outreach or warm outreach, either way. So, so you've got to learn like outreach methods, stuff like that, so that you actually become somewhat decent. And you got to know how to close clients. How do you close a client? Closing clients. Sales scripts, learning sales skills, aligning agendas, demo calls, discovery calls, all that stuff. So these are all things that you need to be able to do. If not, you can't sell your stuff. I probably recommend people to be good at sales and the technical skill, because marketing comes with sales, and you probably you can probably get a good media buyer to somehow create the ad creatives for you and then do something that sticks. Or you can do the strong method, which is be good at creating content, be able to sell your product physically, be able to transfer the belief that you have of your product onto another client, and having testimonies, case studies, a lot of these things that are actually able to get you through your first dollar. Um, So the disclaimer I have to make is that appointment centers are only going to make companies more money and make them more streamlined than they are currently. So the next few years, as technology improves and continues to be widely adopted, the speed between sales is going to decrease, and the businesses that adopt it faster are going to differentiate themselves even more. Alex Hormozy, he believes that AI currently is just a case of man plus tools versus man plus tools. And the winner is going to be man plus better tools. AI is the better tool. There is one diet coach at one of their branches, and the coach is overwhelmed and is becoming a bottleneck in the company because she needs to attend to the physical consultations of every booking. So every time that she's trying to book, she's not able to attend to the leads, right? She can't do follow-ups and calls when she's in the middle of the consultation. She can't remember stuff. So this is a problem for the leaky bucket. You pour all this money in to get leads, and then you don't follow up with the leads as soon as they can. That's not something that she can do with 100% efficiency. We're going to be using the things we've learned and try to systemize it into something that we can actually sell. Let's start by showing you the workflow of everything from an overview perspective. And one thing to note is that for this specific client, they've never needed any help with meta ads. But for every client, they're probably going to have a specific need, a specific outcome, and something they're good at, something that they don't have yet. And so it's you to choose the client to see if they are a fit to be working with you or not. Because if you offer something like Scott Henry does, which is both being able to run ads and tracking said company's sales pipeline, that's where the magic comes. As for Kevin Hogan, he's very much more on the AI caller side. So he has a lot more automations, a lot more call logs, and a lot more expertise in how to build AI client. All right, let's go. So, three main things that we would be doing for a client is AI calling appointment setting, AI SMS appointment setting, and no-show calling plus booking. We'll show you the overview. We're going to start with an opt-in response from ads that come from. So the ads come from whatever spot, and they come into this opt-in response page. So we're going to run them into our Go Hello workflow to call, which is based on the time of the day. So what we're doing is, let's say from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., which is most of the time that people are going to be awake. And in this time, it's probably good to call them. A lot of times people do 9 to 5, which is also very, very standard practice. So this is a matter of preference. With the city that I was living in Las Vegas, actually a lot of the times people are up at night. So a lot of the ads and the way that the company structured their ads and stuff were also at night. And so when they got the consultations in at night, what I mean is that most of their clients opt in basically outside of working hours. And so their interest is peaked for that hyper specific moment, client's attention span. So it gets peaked and then it drops dramatically, like 5 to 10, I mean like a minute after, 2 minutes after, they forget about it. And so if you reply to them like here, they're not gonna want it. If you reply to them like here, it's still fresh in their memory, because in the new digital media age, people scroll all day every day and people forget. So the opt-in response comes in. We're gonna hit them with the workflow to call. Let's say this is within working hours. We're going to be sending them an SMS that says, "Oh, I'm gonna call you in a minute." Sending the webhook to Vapi or retail. So I would actually use one of the two, and then update their contact field to um, called once. So this is a tagging system. Okay, so shout out to Kevin Hogan once again. And then what we're gonna have is, if Vapi calls, Vapi calls them. So we're gonna get a call from GHL to Vapi. Vapi does the calling. Vapi does the booking if they do call. But if they don't book up in any case, which is weird, because we've we just responded to them like 20 seconds ago and they just filled out the form 20 seconds ago. But we're just going to make sure we give them a double dial. So Vapi calls them. So there are two ways, right? So this is, if call continues, they do the talking. And if call fails, like they get sent to a voicemail, or they don't pick up, no pickup, we're gonna send, n8n is gonna send a tag back to high level that says, okay, I called them once, they didn't pick up, call them again. So this is probably where that's gonna be, and that's the second condition. I called them once. We're gonna text them another message that says, yo, didn't know why you didn't pick up. Okay, I'm just gonna call you again just to make sure. So another call, and then if they don't reply at the end of the call, if it's a no answer call, there's something on the side here that I'll show you later. But no answer means we're gonna send like a manual text or an opener into the SMS system. So there are two ways, right? Both of it's gonna go into the SMS system, but we're gonna start with the calling system because calling works a lot better. Um, Okay, say if they do reply, then we're gonna go through what I'm gonna show you guys from Vapi as well. But it's basically a qualification process. The voice agent reorganizes or resummarizes what they texted here. Sorry, what they texted right here, and then walk them through, asking them questions based on each specific type of information that they're looking for. All right. So we also built the system where they book tools live on call. Appointment setting has been out for the AI agency space for a few months now. So this is all standard procedure. Being able to book a lot of the times, a lot of the tools are they're not integrated. So that's a big problem. The gurus are teaching you stuff that's like book onto cal.com or book onto Google Calendar. How about showing them how to check ability and book into GHL? Because I had a few problems trying to connect stuff into GHL just because it's just hard. So you need to read documentation, you need to do this, you need to do that. Bunch of stuff I'm going to show you in the video later. We'll have the no-show calling sequence. So this is what I'll show you after. We'll actually delete this. And at the end of the call, so this is by the end of the call, end of call, we're going to be sending the voice recordings into either if it's into a place where they can log the information, send out Gmails, update call times for double booking. Oh, okay. Let's let's start with number one on the back end stuff that we've done. So what I explained earlier about updating call status to unanswered, right? Is when Vapi calls them, they go into voicemail or they don't pick up, and so at the end of that call, we're going to be listening to the n8n is going to be listening to the recording, seeing if that call had landed in voicemail. If not, we're going to try to find their contact name and update their call times. And that's going to tag it to be able to run again, log the call as a no answer. So like that. How about if they didn't land in voicemail? We hear the recording, we record everything into a transcript that we can actually read. We send Gmails. Oh, so these are service reports we send out to clients when we give them value, and then we create a PDF of the call, log it into our drive, log the information into GHL, log the notes into GHL, send a notification to the to the person that's managing, so that they stay updated with who got a call, what happened, and so from wherever they are, it's kind of like it's a managing process, it's an admin process. Or if it was an inbound call, which is in the after hours, we could also hear the same thing. They get logged into the contact list, or what happens is if they're not in a contact list, we create a new contact or send the recording. to manual to member for review the day after. So at least anyone has got a chance to talk to AI or talk to them about the problem before anything happens. All right, let's continue. So we're going to be sending somewhat a service report like this. That's okay. Let's say for testosterone therapy, this company, I'll cover that up, but this company would be sending, or we would be automatically sending them information about what they needed, what they were interested in. And so this also makes us look a lot more hospitable. We have the transcripts. So a transcript of the call recording plus the call recording that's going to go into the conversation. So this is a test that I've done. I cannot show you the real client yet, but this is basically a call recording and a consultation summary that's like, oh, whatever person came in to ask about weight loss injections, and there was something about weight loss here, something about IV therapy, so a bunch of stuff like that. And then the information gets logged. So this is the Google Drive link. This is the Google Drive link. And this is the call recording. All right. Same with SMS. A lead comes in. We're gonna send them to this workflow, which is adding a new tag, um, coding, sending them a first line opener, and then one day after, one day after, one day after, we are going to be targeting them again because they came in to us trying to do something. So we got to be a little bit more aggressive. So this is one day. So this is one checkpoint. This is two checkpoints, 2 days in. This is 3 days in. This is 4 days in. Oh, sorry. These are problems with the screenshot, but this is like a weekend. So this is 7 days in. This is another week. So another week. So 14 days. And then another week, 21 days. Basically about a month worth of follow-ups. And if they do reply, we're just going to remove them from this workflow and then to talk to them. So these are some openers. Hey, it's Amy from whatever. You're checking out our programs. This is, let's say, for one offer. And imagine if you had this for one offer, you need to do this for a lot more offers. So I would actually choose a company that has one or two offers where you can prompt the AI to answer relatively sane. Hey, right? Somebody company has helped transform tons of clients. Here's a Google Drive link. And so we're sending them stuff like value, and then we have email drip systems. So this is from, shout out once again to Scott Henry. This is based off of Scott Henry. Um, right, which is going into different response routes. So this is the general response route. This is the general response route. These are the, sorry, this is the general response route. These are the mid convo follow-ups. So that's how strong of a system we've created it. So if a client doesn't text back and the conversation is like continue to progress, but they haven't told us to stop, they haven't told us everything, we're gonna try to continue to follow up with them automatically with AI to see what they want, try to nudge them into that booking. So we have another 7 series of follow-ups that try to text them. If they do reply, we catch that reply, remove them from the workflow, and then back into the system they go. So they go boom back into general. So if they do reply, we're going to move them. We're going to tag them back into the general. If not, they get sat into the next follow-up. And so after an hour, we send them the SMS. If they don't reply again, we're sending them to another follow-up system, which is a day after, 2 days after, 3 days after, constantly following up with them until they reply. And so guess what? If they reply, we are sending them straight back to here. And then it's going to repeat, rinse and repeat. That's how the system works. Next. Next. Kevin Hogan has also been great help, basically giving us a lot of this free value. Here you go. He has taught, or he has showed on his YouTube channel, how to create a batch text message system. So with AI, usually they would go turn after turn. So they go turn 1 to turn 2 to turn 3 to turn 4. But that's not how humans text. What if they texted 1, 2, right? What if they texted a lot more in the specific amount of time? So what this part basically does is it batches all of that information and it combines the whole message, and so AI can just respond in one turn. So you set them a certain amount of time, just like how a human would wait and then kind of process the information. This is somewhere between 5 to 8 seconds as they're drafting their response. We're trying to make it as human-like as possible. And anytime after this, after the reply, a human on the other end is gonna be like, okay, that's fine. But what if he texted this and then he texted something else? You don't want to be replying twice because this is the same thing. Wondering what your procedure for weight loss is, and then just wondering what your procedure for weight loss is. So this might be a typo or a texting problem. You don't want to reply twice. Of course, happy to help. What's the main thing you're hoping to prove with our weight loss? So this is just a tagging system that we have, but it's basically just like what we did. We're tagging it so that the system, so that we can actually know where they're replying from. That's fine. We'll just take that out. Here. Hello, I'm asking about procedure, not how I can improve it. And then he says something weird like, hello. Another AI would probably reply, yo, what's up? Hello. How can I help you? Like that's wrong. So you gotta batch the text messages. He texted it from the same time. So we have to send them a turn back. All of that is trying to nudge them into a booking. Third of all, no shop. Third of all, no show calling plus booking. So let's say we do get them booked in, so via the call or via the text message that books them in. What happens if they don't show up? We have a system for that. We're going to, I mean, In the physical workplace, all that the client needs to do is click a no show button, and we have a workflow that's set up, ready to go, that's going to send them an email plus an SMS here. So if you don't hear any reply, oh, what I should do here is if if they do reply, if reply, hand it over to the manual assistant. If not, we're gonna give them a call. So which is call. And guess what? The call is basically gonna say, yo, I saw that you didn't come to our thing today. So was there any problem with that? If the client was just late, they'll rebook them in for another scheduled time or just tell them to come straight to the clinic. And then if not, rebooking them for another day, and just like really trying to make sure that the whole system runs so that we are patching all the buckets up. So this is basically AI appointment setting, AI appointment setting, AI appointment setting. We're trying to patch up all of these, right? We're trying to patch up all of this, make sure nothing goes wrong. So all of this ensures we get more booked appointments. All right, so that was the system in an overview level. What I am going to do is actually show you how I built this from start to finish. So I'm actually going to go into the inner cogs of it, like every single node, every single contact, every single AI prompt, side by side over a 12-hour video. And then that's actually going to make sure that you're able to build the agent or build the whole system that's working. So what you do need is n8n high level and Vapi, and I'll see you on the next one. No, n8n go high low and Vapi. Oh, okay. Before that, um, although this is what you would call a production ready system, there are still major tweaks and changes that need to be done when fulfilling for each specific client. While the system can be copied over with high level and Vapi, I'll actually tell you what needs to happen after you onboard a client. You need to be sending them forms. You need to be sending. You need to have SOPs in place for your VA so they can actually do all the work. You need to be able to test the system out. So 3 days, 4 days to kind of fulfill and scrap up the system into place, because this is basically copy and paste. And then kind of a week for the client to test back and forth, see how the responses are, see if they like it, and then stick into their system. And then this comes along with if they want SMMA related services, if they want any dedicated ad creative services, if they want anything that has to do with AI, or you need to create these service reports. This took a few hours to kind of punch out to show them. But basically, what you're doing is you are becoming a consulting business. You are using your brain to say, okay, where is a bottleneck in the business and how can I try to improve it? I would say start by targeting businesses that are less tech savvy. They have less systems in place, and that's where you can go and test it for yourself. But this system should be able to kind of get you up and running basically right away. Um, some more things are that to be able to charge double, triple the prices, you need to include customization. And this is what you are kind of choosing. I mean, this is what I chose. I believe I chose instead of selling a templatized product. So the aspect means you're making it tailored to them. Tailored voices. If they use a different CRM, that's another hassle. That probably means if you want to work somewhere in the if you want to work somewhere in the um, home services niche, you need to be good with your CRMs like Jobber, like Service Titan. And so if you become good at that, same thing. APIs, connections straight into the workflow. But I would recommend Go High Level because Go High Level is very good. So the price of the systems overall, third of all, we're looking at how many times they want to follow up with their leads, the content of the follow up with their leads, the service reports they want to send out, the the type of qualification questions the company wants. We're also done information for landscaping clients where I'll actually show you where let's say the AI sends a quick ballpark. Let's say you've got said landscape.co. We are sending, I mean, we are populating the client's sent images from their form. Let's say this is another form. The talking is done, the calling is done. You send them photo analysis and key takeaways. You send them quantities of bills and estimates and fees. And then you also link them straight onto said company's website or booking software if they'd like, as well as into Go High Level. Mm, What if a company needs you to build out content for them, right? Um, what about content? So something that I did with weight loss injections from said company is that we actually also created AI generated videos for them. So these are the weight loss injections. They can use that, something like that. How can you tailor your expertise and your information to the client so that you can make money off of them? Right, enough yapping. Let's get into the 12-hour video. Enough yapping. Let's